Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Hold up, y'all. I gotta find all of my tabs. Where did they go? Welcome everybody. Thank you guys for being here. Where did all my tabs go? I swear this is what happens when you have so many tabs open. Hold up. Is this it? New tabs, Google Drive. Okay, yeah, I found them. I swear, it's like my brain. That's what it does. Shout out to everybody. I didn't tell everybody that I was live on the community wall. Hopefully, everybody knows that I'm here and those lovely notifications went out. Welcome, everybody. Thank you guys for being here. Here we go. Make sure you guys are hitting the like or dislike button, whichever one you guys favor. Please, live now. Let's let everybody know that we are live. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for being here. Shout out to everybody in the chat, you guys. All my members, thank you guys for being here. Let's hit the ground running because we have so much to kind of get into and cover. Shout out to all the beautiful, wonderful subbies and supporters and subscribers. Um, because, like, listen, just a heads up for y'all, Mark loving trolls. We don't tolerate foolishness here. We can have a differing of opinion. Thank you, my love, but we don't allow disrespect. So please stay civil. Thank you so much for saying that. Look, we're going to get it right into it. Okay. We really are because I had something to say about this and I did a video and clearly people in the comments were like, Mike, somebody's trying to take down Mark. They're trying to do this to him and it's a huge conspiracy and yeah, listen, we're going to get into it, okay? But why don't I start right there? Let's start by reading some of the comments that you guys left on that video, okay? Let me go right to it. Sorry, y'all. I got my tabs up and let's go to it. So I did a video last night to kind of explain kind of what my thoughts of everything that's going on, what just some opinions that I had. So it's the video, okay? And some of you guys like were really going in the comments. So for example, shout out to B Tim. He says, I think a lot of his GoFundMe's, meaning Mark Laita's GoFundMe's, have he has created lack any transparency, and now finding out that Mark's just giving the money, not using it for the intended purpose, does seem a bit of a scam. This is what B Tim commented, and those in the comments said, well, what are you supposed to do when the family calls asking for money? And then somebody else says a scam when he has sent over 100K in over a little over a year. They literally call him more than once and he gives it to them because it's their money. If he would like to tell them, if you would like to tell them you can't have it, then you'd be saying the same thing. It's a scam. So people are going into the comments, they're feeling like, well, no, it's not a scam, yada, yada, yada. I probed the question on my video and people felt like this is misinformation and you're lying and your integrity and the journalism and it's trash journalism and whatnot. I have had my own opinions about Mark Laita in particular, and let me remind everybody, going back to this right here, okay? For those that don't remember, this was back in December. He did an interview with a minor, okay? 13-year-old minor who self-disclosed, you know, a lot of her stuff, a lot of the victimization that she's going on. He even changed the title to say it was a runaway when it was initially, I believe it was initially something to the effect of 13-year-old youth prostitute or something like that. Okay. It rubbed me the wrong way because girl was child semi-nude. He didn't notice it. He plead the fifth. He said, I didn't know nothing. Okay, that's where a lot of my stuff stems from with Mark Laita. I can't be, when it comes to this, I don't know how people are so forgiving. I mean, y'all should have seen the comments. It was very much like, well, she's a prostitute. She's 13. She's not allowed to be a prostitute. She's disclosing on these videos her victimization. She's a victim. Whether she agrees to it, whether she understands it, she's 13, she can't consent, she's a victim. So yeah, it bothered me that this is how he went about it. He didn't make a video about this. He took this video down, took it down and blurted out her chest because he people came for him in the comments. So he felt some type of way about it. Yeah, she disclosed the streets that she worked on and everything. So this young lady, this child is a chronic runaway. Her mama is out here, also making excuses for a lot of the BS. It's a lot of BS. So yeah, a lot of Mark Laita, um, my disdain for Mark Laita comes from this. It does. It's just I don't like it. Okay? I'm just gonna say that. So when I saw that a YouTuber in the millions was calling him out, and I think it's only fair. Let's watch his video. Let's talk about what he's saying because truly, I think he makes a point to truly bring out some light to the situation and say, like, listen, aren't these people supposed to be having a house by now? Where's this house? Mark is saying, well, they're depleting the GoFundMe. So which one is it? The money is going to them. Okay, but so it's not going to a house? Are they having to, which is fine. Absolutely. Maybe they have to address some of these issues that they have ongoing before they can buy a house. That's very likely and possible. But we have to be able to understand that the GoFundMe is labeled what it is. It's titled what it is. So, yeah, some of us are allowed to have our opinions. Some of us are allowed to question whether you like it or not. That's completely up to you. I get it. It's not your thing, but I do question it. I think it's important. Why not? I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you don't like it. There were so many people in the comments. I mean, and I'm telling you, I was like, Lord have mercy. Why can't I question? Hold up. Why can't I question? Somebody in my comments said, "You are so wrong this time, Rabbit. Mark has been transparent. You have to watch his videos!" Exclamation point. Tyler never contacted Mark. Okay. You are supporting this kind of trash journalism. All right. And I said, "Oh, I said I was happy to see that folks are asking for transparency, which I think it's important. Nothing wrong with that. How is that supporting trash journalism? And why is that trash journalism? Why can't people ask questions?" And then she puts, it is trash journalism when you make the accusations or insinuations that there's wrongdoing without going to the source to get the facts. First of all, didn't Tyler go to the source and emailed the source? And the response that he got, which we'll look at that as well. People should question things. That's what she says. Hold up. What else does she say? Um, Tyler did not contact Mark to ask about the GoFundMe info. That's what she said. All right. So the people are mad, which is fine. I get it. But we'll talk about it. Color Me Oakland says scary that people like Mark can do whatever he wants with no accountability. Mind My Blue says it's okay. And thank you so much for the $5, Color Me Oakland. Um, it's funny to me that he did a video about this specific situation, given that it's a YouTuber with over 1 million followers, many more followers than he has. Where when it became to the Nova thing, he didn't talk about that. He didn't address that. He did a little post and he let that go and he blurred the video and then he tells his supporters that they can see the uncensored child corn somewhere else. That's what it is. This child was not fully dressed. That's my issue with Mark Laita. It's okay to bring to light stuff, but it's not okay to operate in the shadows and not be transparent once you're involved in donations, in my opinion. Questions do not equal accusations. Please say that louder for the people in the back, DB. Say it louder for the people in the back. My questioning is not an accusation. I asked the question, is Mark Laita scamming the people? Why is that wrong to ask? To me, this is no different than when a victim has questions about what has happened with her past, or if somebody was involved with something. Like, what is wrong with being able to ask questions? Why is that not okay? I'm just wondering. But why don't we start with Tyler's video? Okay. And again, this is under fair use. I hope this man doesn't strike us. I don't think he will because we're going to be giving commentary to it.
You slip, trips, and falls. You got if you get trapped, there's
So it starts right around the 18-minute mark. It's the title is I investigate the poorest regions of America.
many dangers underground explosions.
After seeing the symbol of what once kept this state alive, I headed further southwest to Odd, West Virginia. We are in the boonies right now. You might be wondering why I've driven all across West Virginia to meet these people. A couple years ago, I saw this video on YouTube titled Inbred Family, The Whittakers, where this guy, Mark Laita, records his interaction with a family suffering a long history of inbreeding. Do you remember anything?
Okay. And thank you, T Maker, for the $10. What he couldn't put on a t-shirt, what he couldn't put a t-shirt on that girl. T Maker, that's my question. He couldn't put, nobody couldn't wear another shirt. She had to wear a see-through top, bikini top at that. Loon says, to be fair, Tyler didn't ask Mark until he posted the video, but he doesn't have to. Thank you. Mark didn't seem willing to help him with anything else. Mark doesn't own his family, even though he thinks he does. We're going to check out that email that he sent him, which I have it. I put it in the community tab. We could talk about it because I didn't know that. Listen, I didn't know that these people that were interviewed would sign contracts. I mean, is this the only is the Whittaker the only family that's signing contracts? That's my question. And why are they signing contracts? Is anybody wondering that? Like, why are we anyways, maybe I'm overstepping. Maybe I need to get in the line or something. I don't know. But guess what? I don't do well in the line.
Remember anything about your life?
Hey.
You lost your other brother. Intrigued, I reached out to Mark Laita to see if he could introduce me to them, and he responded with this.
Okay, hold up. He says, ooh, right there. Where'd he go? Let's read his email, okay? Because he goes by it really fast.
Inbreeding. Do you remember anything about your life?
Hey.
You lost your other brother. Intrigued, I reached out to Mark Laita to see if he could introduce.
It says, okay, hey Mark, this is the email that Tyler or Tyler's representative sent. Hey Mark, my name is Blake and I represent Tyler Oliveira on YouTube, a channel with 4 million subscribers. We saw all of your interviews on YouTube and really respect the style and uniqueness you bring to YouTube and how you portray all those that you interview. Now, Mr. Tyler, I'm going to ask you a question. Have you really watched every interview? Just wondering. Did you watch the one with Nova? Just wondering. We are currently interested in filming a video about the Whittaker family in West Virginia. I was wondering if you'd be able to help us get in touch since you've done so much with them. We would love to help show the world the compassion they have and support the GoFundMe to help them get a new home. Please let me know as soon as possible. Thank you, Tyler. That's it. Okay. To be fair, he does mention GoFundMe. He doesn't say, tell me about the GoFundMe. He says, we would like to support the GoFundMe. For those that were in the comments that were saying, he didn't even ask him about the GoFundMe. Nothing. You said there's no contract. Okay, Nikki, I'm going to look at that. Let's look at it, all right?
Introduced me to them, and he responded with this. Hi, Tyler.
Hi, Tyler. Soft White Underbelly has an exclusive contract with the Whittaker family for all content creation. What is an exclusive contract? Can they have contracts with other folks? That's on the first sentence. We're also working in talks about a television series with the broadcast network. Okay. Thank you so much for thinking of us. Noel, Soft White Underbelly. Soft White Underbelly has an exclusive contract with the Whittaker family for all content creation. So is that the only thing? All right. Just for content creation. That's all they have the contract for? What does this mean? What does this sentence mean? What does the first sentence mean? Okay, Probably to share the videos on a public platform. Okay. But he still doesn't answer Tyler's question about getting in contact with the Whittaker family. That's what I'm asking. How can a family like the Whittakers handle a contract when they can't even manage money? Where's my drink? That's the question. How can a family like the Whittakers handle a contract when they can't even manage their money? It doesn't sound right. And Soft White Underbelly sounds possessive of the family. Tyler Oliveira honestly does do trash journalism, in my opinion. That's your opinion. Often showing a dangerous bias to his young audience. But he's 100% right on this one. No worries, Loon. I respect your opinion. It says, I'm so glad this is getting attention. I've been in this rabbit hole for years. It doesn't make sense. How? In order to have a contract, they would need an attorney to handle it. Well, somebody wrote that contract, right? Does that mean that nobody else can interview them? Just wondering. You said I did a GoFundMe. Thank you, Cheeks. I did a GoFundMe for a cat rescue recently. We raised about $500 for medical expenses. Every single cent raised was accounted for with regular updates, pictures, receipts. It's the bare minimum. Oh my God, Cheeks. Thank you so much for your super chat and super sticker. Color Me Oakland says, my fear is when his friends, Adam 22, met up with and slept with one of Mark's friends? One of Mark's fines? Fines or friends? Fines? Shady. Allegedly. Thank you so much, Color Me, for that. Oh, thank you, Kiva, for gifting one membership. If you guys got a membership from Kiva, please drop a heart in the chat. So Mark, so no contract. He just makes up excuses as he didn't want the family bombarded. Did he mention a contract? Well, what does the contract mean? You said because it doesn't exist? So Nikki, my question is, did Noel just put this to kind of try to like tell Tyler to go away? I'm just wondering. I'm just reading the email. This is an important part, I think, to point out. Just saying. Let me hit play.
Soft White Underbelly has an exclusive contract with the Whittaker family for all content creation. We are also currently in talks about a television series with a broadcast network. Thank you so much for thinking of us. Noel, Soft White Underbelly. 9 days later, he uploaded this to his YouTube channel.
This is not I'm not trying to create a TV show where we're doing follow-ups on people, because I could easily do that. I try to resist doing that, because people, like, I see the comments sometimes, oh, you're just exploiting these people.
Now, assuming this contract even exists,
Yes.
It immediately raises a red flag when you consider that Mark has made 13 videos with the Whittakers with a combined total of 89.13 million views. In every one of these videos, Mark currently has a GoFundMe link with a mission to help the Whittaker family purchase a new home, with $55,692 raised thus far, in addition to a previous 2022 GoFundMe that generated $12,000 for a new house. And for those preferring other ways to donate, you can also PayPal or Cash App Mark Laita directly. With $77K and however much else was sent to Mark directly, there's another GoFundMe to...
And we don't even know what the PayPal PayPal and Cash App is, right?
help the over 7,000 people who have been interviewed for the Soft White Underbelly channel, with $48,000 total raised on it right now. Who gets any of this money and how is it divided? We'll never know. With a minimum of $77K raised directly for the house, in addition to however much was sent to Mark directly via Cash App and PayPal, and however much money generated from, let's say, just the first video he made with the Whittakers, an extremely conservative estimate of $82,000, assuming a $2 RPM, we have a minimum of $159,000 in the home fund here. And
they still don't have a house, right? Is that what we're saying? And they still don't have a house. Is that correct? I'm lost in this. I need to read or watch more. No worries, love. But they still don't have a house. It's a lot of views. People are curious. They want to know about the family, right? They want to know. It generates a lot of views. He's not a helping channel, but he is a helping person. He did say that. I'll give him that. Okay. But remember, the GoFundMe is to help them buy a house.
And there just so happens to be a house for sale right now in Odd, West Virginia, where they live, currently listed for $139,000. So why don't they have a new house? I reached out to the only other person I could find who had made contact with the Whittakers, Paige, a sweet special ed teacher from Alabama, who checks up on Betty, the matriarch of the family, almost every day over the phone. And after talking to Paige, she was ecstatic to get me a grocery list of all the things the Whittakers needed and allowed me to drop them off on her behalf and to do a wellness check on them in the winter. After getting everything on the list, we began our drive to surprise the Whittakers on Paige's behalf. Shout out, Paige, you are a sweet woman. We're gonna drive up there, hand them the groceries, and see if they want to chat more. Let's head off.
Rubbing up on each other, man. That is luck. Yeah.
Paige, this is Tyler Oliveira. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. We're about to head on over to the Whittakers.
Give them a call and tell them you're coming. Does that sound good?
Okay, sounds like a plan, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Yep.
This is so awesome.
You said Nancy's like poverty porn. I can't. Loon says Tyler is right for exposing this. You know what, Loon, I really appreciate your comments because you're like, I'm not a fan of Tyler, but what he's doing here is a little bit different. Like, a shout out to you for being able to see the other side of this. Thank you. Meeting the side chick at the gas station. Why? Vic, how you doing, love? Vic just had to point that out. All right. Shout out to Vic in the chat.
Awesome, yes.
No, you're awesome. You're like Mother Teresa. We love it.
From my understanding, none of them drive, so they're definitely kind of just stuck there. We are as rural as it gets. We should be about a minute away.
How you doing? We're friends. We got a grocery list for y'all. Good to meet you. Betty? All right, Betty. Timmy? Hey, how you doing, Timmy?
So they're meeting.
Hi.
Right here. Okay. Hi. Good to meet you. Hi. You staying warm?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
Oh, wow. Hi. Hi. He's so cute.
Yeah.
Cute.
Little boy.
Hey, little boy.
Where you at, little boy?
Go to the picture.
Yeah.
Little boy.
How old is the little boy?
I don't know how he is.
He's the newest addition to the family.
Yeah.
He's a cute little boy. What do we got?
Well, he did that great.
What's he trying to say, Betty?
Tell me Larry's gone with the truck.
Oh, I see. Like that Dr. Pepper? Yeah. How you doing, doggo?
Wow.
You got him?
Well, Paige wanted to make sure you guys were well stocked. She wanted to say hi.
You Bobby?
It is hard to watch.
Bobby?
I don't.
No.
Okay. Hey, crack one open.
A lot. Thank you for pointing that out. It is very hard to watch. I'm just saying, I don't particularly enjoy this kind of, but hey, to each his own.
Want it open? Your knee hurts? What's wrong? Your knee hurts? Oh, you want it open? All right. What's wrong? The light? Betty, how you doing? Paige is
I'm
going to see
okay, Paige. Hey, thank you for the groceries.
Paige wanted to make sure you guys are doing good in the winter and staying warm and staying healthy.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think some of the viewers from Mark's videos as well were making sure you're healthy too.
I'm healthy. I go to the doctor.
Watch this.
Okay. Does Larry take you to the doctor?
Yeah.
That's good. How are they doing? How's
They're
everyone
doing
doing?
okay.
Yeah?
Timmy goes to the doctor, Louie goes to the doctor. We can't get Ray go.
You think you're ready to go?
No, Ray won't go.
Ray, why aren't you going to the doctor? Does your knee hurt? It hurts? Okay. You like the cookie though? Cold? What else? How's the house coming along?
What house?
The
I don't know what house. We have to Mark about the house.
What did Mark say about the house? Paige wants to get an update.
I don't know.
Okay.
What house? I don't know about a house.
Do you think he's...
Mark said we ain't got no more money
Mark said we ain't got no more money in there.
in there. I don't know.
Okay.
Well, no, it's your love.
From my understanding, there's like, I don't know, $50,000 or $60,000 in there. Has Mark given you guys an update?
No.
Okay. When's the last time you guys have talked to Mark?
I talked to Mark the other day.
The other day? Okay. Timmy, you want to say hi to Paige?
So even though he's asking that, and thank you, Color Me Oakland, the response, LTR. These are our fines to use. I mean, what do you guys think? Nikki's like, Tyler's the real journalist asking the questions. Okay. Shout out to Nikki. It says, to be honest, the Whittaker's videos are the only ones I enjoy of Laida's. I feel horrible that he has now shut them off. Why does he have to shut them off, though? I don't get that. Like, if his goal was to buy them a house, can that still happen? Is it possible? Yes, the money that they have in there, but maybe if it's because the GoFundMe said to buy a house, then that it can't be touched, but other than for that, right?
It was a pleasure to meet you, Betty. Meet you again. Bye-bye. Stay warm, all right? Ray's happy. He's got the cookie and Dr. Pepper.
Bye, Timmy.
You want to say bye to Paige? You want to say bye to Paige?
Yeah.
You want to say goodbye?
Ego.
And Paige got all this for you guys. She got you those coloring books. Woohoo!
Bye, guys.
Paige texted me. She said, "Hey, Tyler, you guys had already left when I got in touch with Betty. I called a couple of times and she didn't answer. She was so excited. That is awesome. I feel good. They were super sweet. They were groceried up. It is cold. They were in the middle of nowhere. And Mark, where is the house?" Paige?
Hey, Tyler. I mean, Mark has always been nice to me, so I hate to be the bash person, but I just want.
So Paige is also saying the same thing too, right? He's asking Paige. So for people to just be like, well, no. He asks one of the Whittakers, and then he's asking Paige.
Someone, like, hopefully somehow or something, like, funds could be raised for them to, like, because there's money that has been raised. I mean, we all see it.
Yep.
So, like, there should be, goodness, to get them a house, you know?
Thanks so much for letting us be a part of that. It seemed like they were very happy.
Yeah, she was so excited. They really are good people. It's a bizarre situation, but it's, you know, like, they just need somebody to care about them.
I started a GoFundMe linked in this video's description and donated $10,000 of my own money. If you feel moved by these innocent souls and want to help them live their elderly years in peace, feel free to donate below. And Mark, if you have any honor, let's combine whatever my viewers and I raise, your two GoFundMes, and let's get the Whittakers a new house for reals. Thanks for watching, guys. Also, whoever has the most viewed TikTok or YouTube short using a
All right, let me stop right there. Y'all can finish watching the ending of that. Okay, so if he just sent them the money and it wasn't for the house as it was announced, that is misappropriation of funds. Shoot, I've known people to get fired over that. Let's watch Mark Laita's video to give two sides of the argument so people aren't saying, well, Abbott, you're not being fair. And let's just do it, okay? Let's go ahead and do it. Let me make sure I'm going to speed this up a little bit. See his response, okay?
Hey, everybody. This is Mark. I thought I'd address something that a lot of people are have questions about. There's a young YouTuber named Tyler Oliveira, I believe his name is. He has a channel, Tyler Oliveira Investigates, or whatever, something like that. But he posted a video about the poverty in West Virginia, but he spent some time with the Whittaker family in West Virginia and asked a lot of questions about the GoFundMe that my channel has that benefits the family. And I thought I'd answer everyone's questions because I'm sure if you've watched that video, you've got a lot of questions about what's going on with the GoFundMe for the Whittakers.
Yes.
This GoFundMe that I've had for years since I've been interviewing the family has generated a lot of money for the family. It was always designed to help them with their living expenses. And then like end of last year, we changed it to, we started a new GoFundMe and I tried to start a new one so it would look like this is how much money we're going to get for the house. And as we accumulated money for that, I was thinking, hey, we're getting closer to our goal. But the problem has been that Betty and Larry will call me every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks and say, hey, we need money for a car. Larry wrecked his car. We need a new car. We need food. We need this. We need that. It's always an emergency. And they need money. And it is their money. But this money is, all these donations are for the Whittakers. And when they tell me they need money, what am I going to say? No, you can't have it. We're saving it for our house. So I give them the money.
It is their money. So I can okay, so I'll give it to Mark there. I understand where he's coming from with that because I do feel like, well, if he's withholding this money that's out there, right, it is going to kind of look weird that he wouldn't give them their money. But then if that's the case, then you need to tell the people that this money is no longer, or some of this money, a portion of this money is for their expenses, and then this portion is going to be for a home. That is a level of transparency. You have to be able to do that, right? You just got to.
Sometimes it's 5,000, sometimes it's 4, sometimes it's 6, or one time it's 14, sometimes it's 3 or 2, but it adds up. Every few weeks, I'm getting another phone call. We need more money. We need more money. We need more money. And I wire transfer it to Betty. I'll show you a screenshot of my bank account and all the wire transfers that I sent to Betty. These are all going from my account to Betty Whittaker's account.
There you go.
Chase Bank, I think it is in Beckley, West Virginia. So even though we've generated, I think the earlier GoFundMe had about 77,000 before we ended it, and then this one currently now has 55. The one for the house has 55,000. That totals what 120, 130,000 roughly. Keep in mind that money still, we still need to pay tax on that money.
Look at this. Look at this. If you look at the actual expenses, hold up. And that is concerning. Like if you're trying to buy a house, and this is like it really is. So on the 16th, he sends 1,000. This is October 16th. Y'all see that? October 16th. Let me make myself small. October 16th, he sends 1,000. And then on October the 16th, he sends 4,200. On the 10th of October, it was 5,000. On the 3rd of October, it was another 4,000. That's a lot of living expense. Like, I don't know. If I was in his position, I would probably be making a public service and just an announcement to let the folks that are donating know, like, listen, this is going for their expenses and this is going for their house. If you want to support their expenses, this is where you donate. This is what you do. 5,000. I mean, in October alone, y'all see how much money that is? It is ridiculous. But that's transparency. If you're going to handle some of their funding, this is what you have to pay attention to. He needs a spreadsheet. Shout out to the people with the spreadsheets. Oh my gosh. Yeah, he needs a spreadsheet, right? But honestly, and I wonder how it works. So are the Whittakers collecting SSI, SSDI? Because don't you have to report some of these donations too? You said somebody's saying whim. Just sit there and let that sink in, because it's kind of hard when Mark is talking, and I know they're going through this spreadsheet. In just look at the month October alone, okay? And let me tell y'all something. I am in no way trying to tell anybody here how to donate their money. You all can donate your money however you want to. That is not what this is about. Do what you have to do, because that was one of the comments that I got. Rabbit, you can't tell me how to donate my money. This is what I'm going to do. Do it. I don't care. Donate your money to whatever. That's not my issue. But you also can't tell me what I can't or can't talk about online, what I can't or can't criticize online, this being one of them. Okay? This is a lot of money. In October alone. Let me go ahead and keep running it, okay?
So even though we've generated, I think the earlier GoFundMe had about 77,000 before.
Here it is. November. On the 7th of November, 5,000. On the 29th of November, 5,000. And then on the same day, on the 29th, it was another 3,000. Pay attention to the numbers. Does that look right? So, Mark, they're calling you on the phone and they're saying, listen, I need 3,000. And then they're calling you a couple hours later and they're asking for another 3,000? Which he put himself in that position, didn't he? Yeah, it's like 13K in 1 month. So do you have to report all of this? How are they, if people are donating, how are they even qualified for SSI or SSDI at this point? That's a great question. Or on the other side, the community knows that they're receiving donations. Probably, how can we trust others not to overcharge or possibly shortchange the Whittakers? Nobody, it's just donations. But I mean, I'm not telling you how to spend your money. This is your money. Do what you got to do. I am not a consumer products reviewer or anything, but I'm pointing out the obvious. This is a concern. Hey, Mel. Just letting you know.
Before we ended it, and then this one currently now has 55. The one for the house has 55,000. That totals what, 120, 130,000 roughly.
Look at that.
Keep in mind that money still, we still need to pay.
I mean, there's no reason to work with that income. They can't have more than 2,000. That's the rule. But Emily, this is what he's saying, that they're calling him more than once asking for money. Which one is it? And I know Tyler made a response. We'll look at that. But Tyler, did you address this too?
Need to pay tax on that money. Somebody needs to pay the tax. If I left it up to the Whittakers to pay the taxes, I think we'd have a problem with the IRS. And I don't want to get the Whittakers involved in any kind of tax problem. So I chose to pay the tax on that money, and they get every cent that is.
100 and look at this. Over 100K. Lord have mercy. And every month it's 2,000, 1,000, sometimes twice in one day. This is what it's used.
That is left after the taxes are taken out. Because I've gotten these not weekly, but every few week calls from Betty or Larry asking for money, the money that's in these accounts gets depleted. It's always happened with them, where it looks, you look at the GoFundMe, it's generating money. All of a sudden there's 55,000. Oh, we're getting closer. No, you're not, because they took out 5 and they took out 6 and they took out 8 and they took out 14 and they took out 3, and it keeps it low. It's 0 right now. It's been 0.
Let me stop right here. And lawyer says, shout out to lawyer Mystery Maven. If on SSI, you have to report. SSDI has regs on unearned income that are more tricky. Okay. Ooh, my mod says, Rabbit, pay attention to Mustard's comments. Hold up. What? He ramped up the spending. He ramped up sending them money after BJ investigates video about his GoFundMes? Really? Shout out to BJ. That's crazy.
0 for a few months. Larry and Betty have called me, asked me for money. I've given it to them out of my own personal bank account, not out of the GoFundMe donations, because I like helping the family. But
he doesn't show that though, right? He doesn't show what he personally has sent. Now, he doesn't have to. That's his money. That's like anybody else that's donating, right? But so they're getting more than this at this point. Is that what I'm hearing? This is just an estimate?
without the ability to stop spending and start saving, we're never going to get close to that house.
When the house came up, also I think they brought up a house that was across the street from them,
right next door.
Yeah, and when we looked it up, it was over 200,000. So we knew.
I don't think they want to leave their neighborhood.
Right.
So they like the house next door. It's a nice house. It's expensive for the neighborhood, but whatever. That's a whole other topic, because we're not talking about whether they're going to get the house now or not.
Right.
This is about this video that Tyler Oliveira created. Basically, it's people on social media that create these like scandal stories. They're not factual.
It's misinformation.
They're misinformation. They're making up facts to create a scandal. Like, wouldn't it be juicy if Soft White Underbelly was collecting GoFundMe donations and not, he was keeping the money? Ooh, that'd be a really juicy story. So that's what he designed. He didn't ask me. He never called me. He did call me once to ask if you could give them my contact info, but I don't want to give out the contact info of everybody I interview. You know, how many requests for the Whittaker contact info did we get back then?
But you know what though, Mark, you can't just put this on Tyler, because Paige also said something. Like, other people are saying things. This is look. Y'all can say a lot. I don't know Tyler or anything, but you can't just put that on his reporting. He went out there and he happened to have found this thing, and it is not the first time that somebody has called this out. 5 months ago, BJ Investigates did a video and looked at all this stuff. Okay, that was 5 months ago. So some people have been calling them out. They have. That's what I think, Mustard, because you know what? He didn't do a video when he didn't do a statement when BJ made a video, did he? No. When myself and various other creators, including BJ, we were calling him out about the 13-year-old semi-nude. Did he make a video about this? No. So it's very interesting, in my opinion, that he would do it now. It makes you wonder, right? Is it because that creator has over 5? I mean, listen, we're a little tiny speck over here on YouTube. Mr. Tyler, all these, they probably don't even watch us like that. I get it. Busy schedule. Cool. Good for you. But pay attention to the other stuff too.
So many. It would have ruined their life if all the people got there.
Yeah. So we have to figure out a way to keep everybody from just going to the house and it becoming like a problem for them. So I made up excuses why I'm not going to give out the contact information.
We've done that for a lot of guests, not just the Whittakers.
Anybody asking for a girl's phone number, a girl's email, I always say no.
That's right.
Okay, come on.
Emailing us to get somebody's contact info is not the way to do it. But back to this problem. So Tyler creates this video. It's going to have 1 million views soon. His channel's bigger than mine. He's got a lot of followers.
He's so worried about that.
So he's basically ruining my reputation for some people. Now, luckily, I think my audience is smart enough to know the difference between BS and a social media scandal. It's all fake, and the truth. But this is what these people do. He's just.
Oh, I had some of those comments over here. I mean, people were dragging me in the comments. Why? Because I called it out. Because I have questions. What's wrong with that? Why can't we have questions? The views are it's ruining his reputation. What?
He's just one of many that create these scandalous stories, and he could have easily contacted me. He said, "Hey, Mark, my name's Tyler. I'm doing a video on the Whittakers or on the GoFundMe. Tell me what's going on with that." I would have said, "Yeah. I mean, I give them money at least once or twice a month, sometimes 5,000, sometimes more, sometimes a little less, and it adds up, and it's depleting the the reserve of money that we're trying to build for the house. So now it's basically right around zero, and we wait for more donations, and then I give them the money. That would have killed his whole story, because what he wanted was to make me look like I'm not giving them the money. They've gotten every single cent of any money that was ever donated. I have to pay the taxes, and everything else goes to them. That's always been the case with my channel's general GoFundMe as well as the Whittaker's GoFundMe. It's just a shame that I share a platform with people that do this kind of stuff. I think it's just the nature of our new world with, the confluence of social media and.
Yeah, I think it's a shame that I share a platform with people that do this shit too. I think it's a shame that I share a platform with people that the audacity of this. It's truly a shame that we share a platform with folks that are okay with this. Yeah, I would agree with that. I definitely would agree with that shit.
And
It's just a race to create content, it feels like.
Oh, yes, it is.
yeah, it's just freedom of speech and the internet to combined are dangerous. But that's the world we have now. So people are getting used to it. They know, oh, this is just a hater or it's BS. And I think a lot of people smell BS when they see this kind of stuff. But some people don't know my reputation. They don't know who I am. And they'll hear a story like this. It's like, yeah, he's a scammer. He's a con artist. He's keeping the money for the GoFundMe. And I'm sure there's people that are going to believe it, even though I'm showing you the proof in this video. That's just the nature of human beings, I think. It's disappointing that that's the way it goes, but that's what's going on in our world.
There's many viewers that actually reach out to us when things like this happen. So thanks to those.
No,
viewers.
the way I found about it was somebody emailed us, I think, and told us this was going on. But my viewers are great. My base viewers are great. The peripheral ones that kind of like love scandals and love to hate, I don't know why they're even on my channel. I think they're just frustrated and bored. But if you look, like, what did Jesus tell us? Love your neighbor as you love yourself.
Not
I think another way to
Jesus.
interpret that is, if you love yourself, you will love your neighbor. It's
That's
just natural.
beautiful.
If
Yeah.
you're happy with yourself, you're going to be kind to others. And likewise, if you hate yourself, you're going to hate others. That's just the way it works. And these people are miserable. And they're going to.
Listen, just because you're critical doesn't mean that you're miserable. Don't get it confused. If you believe in Jesus, Jesus made us critical. Actually, he probably encouraged it. Jesus asked for receipts. That's what he did. Okay? And there should be us being able to ask that question. Why is it being received this way? Lawyer Mr. Maven says, seems like the recipients may need guardianship. Are they capable of managing this? I don't know. I see, and he's managing it. So I guess that's it. Or I don't know, he's collecting it, he's managing it, he's letting us know what he's doing with it. I'm just why are you laughing? Jesus created us to be critical. Right, Mario. Show me the receipts on both sides. Okay?
And they're going to hate on other people. Like I haven't done this thing. Look at the Whittaker's life. Their lives are so much better since I came into it. Their lives have improved greatly since I came into it. And the reason for that is because I'm kind and generous and I'm helpful. And when they needed help, I came through for them every single time. The fact that Betty comes on, stood in front of him, his cameras, and said, when he asked what happened with the money, she goes, I don't know. Come on. Betty knows exactly where that money went. She calls me every 2-3 weeks to ask me for more. And I always ask her, like, what are you doing with all this money? You're living in West Virginia. How can you spend so much money like this? And she goes, I need it. And it's her money, so I give it to her. But between her and Larry, there's a lot of money flowing out of that GoFundMe, and it's down to zero now. So I'm actually gonna discontinue my GoFundMes for the Whittakers. I probably won't even do videos with them anymore. It's just like it's left such a bad taste in my mouth after all this. There's other things that are interesting for me in the world. So I just it leaves a really bad taste in my mouth after what just happened. Like nobody came to my defense and said, hey, Mark gives us a lot of help, a lot of money. Nobody said that.
And and even if that is the case, yeah, like there's people that I have yet to see a video in defense of Mark, okay, where people have said, yeah, Mark really helped me out during this time. Any of the people. What I do see is a lot of interviews, and it just leaves a lot of questions, right? Like, we know that some of these people make money. How much? We really don't know. I don't know. You said virtual singling came through. But what about the TV shows he was going to do with them? I don't know. Why didn't he put the money in an Able account? Right, it's true. I give you that. Nobody does stand up for Mark. Mark, nobody stands up for you. except for your people in the comments. And then the way they go about it is they try to trash me or trash those that are in the comments giving a difference of opinion. But it's true. But I do wonder, why doesn't anybody stand up for Mark? Why doesn't any of these folks that he has helped either through rehab or the Skid Row folks, why don't they do an interview talking about the good things that Mark has done through his programming? What about the nonprofits? What about all these other people? What about Lima Uremovich? What about all these other folks? It's a good question. I would like to see somebody say, you guys are wrong. But what he showed even in the bank stuff, like, that's even concerning to me.
I never once have I ever gotten a thank you from anybody, but that's a whole other conversation.
Yo, why don't y'all thank this man?
But I also have a GoFundMe for my channel in general. And the reason these GoFundMes exist in the first place, I should say, is because people would watch my videos and get all heartbroken. Oh my God, this poor person, I feel so bad for them. How can I help? Oh, and if I have a GoFundMe, you can donate $5, $10, $20, whatever. So it gives people a way to not be frustrated after watching my videos. If you total up all the GoFundMe donations I've got, like let's say we hit our goal of $100,000 for the general GoFundMe, not the Whittaker one. The Whittaker one is, I think it's higher for the house, but the Whittaker one has generated like 130,000 between the 77 and the 55 it is right now. So it's roughly 130, I think.
Mm-hmm.
They've received, according to the list that I put on screen earlier, it's that's 100,000 right there. And then I've given them
So do they not have any more money at this point?
$25,000 cash. Every time I see them, I'm giving them 5 here, 5 there, 4 there, 3 there. That's amounted to 25,000. And then consider that 37% of all these donations the taxes need to be paid on that. Who's going to pay that? So I pay the tax, the 37% tax, and everything else goes to the Whittakers. But back to my channel's general GoFundMe, let's say it generated $100,000. That $100,000 is shared amongst the 8,000 people I've interviewed. That comes to $12.50 per person. I can guarantee you I'm paying, like especially the people on Skid Row, I'm paying them a lot more than $12.50 for these interviews.
Yep.
And then another thing to consider is 60,000 of that 100,000 went to one person. Another 20 or 30,000 of it went to another person that's on my channel.
No money left.
People would make a donation, say, I want my money to go to this person or that person. So I would do that. And that left.
And that's where the misappropriation comes in. You labeled your GoFundMe, and I'm not saying that he broke the law. Shit, I'm not an attorney. I don't know if he broke the law. What I'm saying is that the label of the GoFundMe says Whittaker, a house for the Whittakers or something like that, right? It didn't go for that, you guys. It didn't. It went for other things. So are there other issues that the Whittakers financially or other issues that we're not aware of that need to be addressed before they even get to the point of the house? And if that is the case, that's where the transparency needs to come. He could have done this a lot earlier, way before all of this. He could have said, you guys, listen, I'm having issues. We got a financial coach or somebody to help with the Whittakers a little bit more, somebody to do more one-to-one through the funding that you guys are providing. We're going to start a separate GoFundMe for the house, which will not be touched, but this GoFundMe will be touched. Like, he could have avoided some of these issues too.
That leaves very little. So it's a matter of maybe $1 or a few cents per person. So these GoFundMes have been nothing but a headache for me. I'm going to delete or take down all my GoFundMes. I'm no longer going to offer a way to make donations. There's nothing in it for me except headache and frustration. Every time I start giving a person money, they start coming back and asking me for more, and they start getting vindictive if I cut them off or say no. So it's like I have to just continue the trail of money, and it comes out of my pocket every single time. So it's like, I'm just going to create videos. If you like them, watch them. If you don't. I'm not here to, if I'm going to help somebody, I'm going to do it privately. I'm not going to tell anybody about it. This is not a helping channel, as I've said before. I might be a helping person, but this channel is not about me. It's about the people that are sitting in this chair normally.
You said, Rabbit, you're not paying them. It's not coming out of your personal pocket. It's coming from people that are donating. Right. That's fine.
So that's what's going on. I'm sorry this happened. A lot of people got confused and thought maybe I'm a scammer or a con artist. I'm not. This is just a case where this young YouTuber who's doing some irresponsible journalism decided not to get any input from me and just decided to take a story and run with it because he knew it was going to get a lot of views, which it has. I take the hit.
And we're allowed to ask questions. Again, hold up. True Teller, we're allowed to ask questions regardless of what. I think it's only fair. I said I was talking about Mark. I wasn't talking about you. Well, regardless, shout out to you. No, but in actuality, Infamous, like, we're allowed to ask questions. We should be questions. Why not? If this content has been put out here, I'm allowed to make commentary. Everybody is. I'm not the only one who should be talking about it. Anybody could talk about it, right? To be fair.
The hit on that, my reputation gets tarnished. He makes a lot of money. I mean, I guess it helps me because I make a lot of money too when people see these stories and they go to my channel to comment something terrible about how I'm evil and terrible. But that's just social media. It's frustrating, but that's the world we live in.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what's going on. Hopefully this helps everyone understand perfectly that every cent is going to the Whittaker family, or has been. No longer. I'm done. They've received every dime that they need to get. I'm going to pay the taxes, and we're done. That's what's going on. Thanks for listening.
Do you want to try to call Betty?
Oh, yeah.
And then he
Call
calls
Betty.
Betty.
Let's just call really quick and see what they say. Why not?
Let's see if I can do that.
Sable says, Rabbit, the nephew built a house next door to them. Yeah, I saw that little house area. To be next door to them, he's supposed to be their caretaker. Wow. Is he also supposed to help with the financial stuff too? Kind of wondering, Sable. Shout out to you.
I mean, it's also, you could say it's been great and thank you. And
Hi.
Let's see if she'll answer the phone.
Hello.
Hey, Betty, it's Mark.
Yeah,
Hey, how are you?
I'm all right.
So I just want to be clear about the GoFundMe money that I've been sending you. Like,
Yeah.
like how many times like every few weeks you'll call me to ask me for some money, correct?
Not every week I don't.
No, but like typically throughout the year you're calling me many times to ask me for money.
I know that.
I'm sorry?
I know about that.
You don't know about that?
Yeah, I know you've been. I know I've been calling.
Yeah, I know. So I just want to make sure, because like when Tyler interviewed you, he asked you like what's going on with the money, and you said I don't know, and he asked you about the house, and you said what house? And it made it look like I'm not giving you guys money. Am I giving you guys money?
I know you've been giving money, but I didn't know you've been giving money for the house out of no more.
Well, I told you, and we talked about this, that we're going to try to generate money for our house.
So is this just a big misunderstanding? He said, you're giving me money, but I didn't know it was for the house anymore. You said, Lord have mercy, the poor woman. I mean, infamous. He showed a bank receipt, and we were just talking about that earlier, Amanda. I don't believe he takes people's money. It's just their dignity. You don't think Shavy's like, I don't think he should have done this to Betty. That's because she can't advocate for herself. That's the piece for this alleged house bank, right? I don't know. That's a good question. Doesn't break some GoFundMe terms and conditions.
I know.
Okay, but I've given you over $100,000, like in the last year or so, a couple of months over a year, like last 14 months, I've given you about $100,000. That adds up to a lot of money. You didn't mention that to Tyler.
Look at who?
Tyler is the young man that interviewed you a while back.
Color, I saw Tyler.
You don't know him.
I don't know if I need color.
Okay, well, there's a video on YouTube of you talking with him, and you're saying I didn't give you any money.
I told you be any money, but I didn't know you were giving money for that house out. I thought you were getting out of your pocket. I didn't know that.
All right, well, regardless of what the money was for, how often will I give you money? Like every few weeks, right?
Every week you do.
Yeah, and it's
I don't think I don't think he cares about asking permission at this point or consent, because remember, he has a contract. So this could be very well under that contract for content. So maybe that's why he feels like he doesn't ask permission to record the call. How are these vulnerable adults consenting? That's a great question. I don't know. Soft White Underbelly is not a helping channel, so why are there so many GoFundMes? It's not a helping channel, but he's a helping person, right? I don't know.
And it's around what? Like sometimes 4,000, sometimes 5, sometimes more, sometimes it's 2 or 3, right?
Right.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, good. I just wanted to clarify that, and that's all I want to do, just to make sure that we're all on the same page. Because it seems like looking at Tyler's video, I don't know what page we were on, but it's a very different page.
I ain't talking to Tyler. I don't know Tyler is.
Well, maybe that video was created digitally by somebody, but it looks like you talking to him. I don't know.
Talk about your Tyler.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know. There's a video on YouTube of you talking to this guy, telling about how I didn't give anybody any money, and I don't know where it came from, but whatever. I just wanted to clarify everything. Thank you for explaining.
Okay.
All right, darling. Thank you very much.
All right.
All right, bye-bye.
I guess he's not really happy. Well, okay. Let's go to Tyler's response. This is what played out later on. And let me know your thoughts in the comments as we're watching this. Now he's attacking someone who doesn't get what he's doing or why he's talking about this, right, Sunshine? Out of his pockets. He sounds absolutely scared of confrontation. Well, according to Mustard in the comments, it sounds like he's been trying to figure out what to do with a lot of these funds. Yeah.
All right, update on the Whittakers and Mark Laita. One day ago, I uploaded a video about West Virginia. In the last 7 minutes of the video, I go to the Whittaker's house, drop off some groceries, and I ask Betty Whittaker what's going on with the house and where's the money. I'm referring to a GoFundMe set up by Mark Laita, where he raised $77,000 from the generous donations of many people watching his videos with the Whittakers, with the intent to buy the Whittakers a new home. The title of the GoFundMe is Help the Whittakers Purchase a New Home. Now, I asked Betty what's going on with the money. She says, Mark says we've run out of money. What house? What do you mean, basically? So I uploaded this to my video, and I open-endedly asked Mark, what's going on with the GoFundMe? Where's the money? I did not accuse him of doing anything. I did not call him names. I merely asked the question I myself was curious about, and thousands of other people in Mark's own channel had asked him. And I would imagine that includes many people who have donated to the cause, which is to help buy them a new home. Which brings me to my next point. Mark uploads a video to his channel where he says he's transferred over $100,000 worth of his viewers' donations to Betty Whittaker. There is no money left in the accounts, and they would constantly ask for the money, and he would send it to them. There's no money in the GoFundMe's left for a house, which was the entire goal of the GoFundMe. My problem with this is, A, he could have just updated the viewers every couple months for every video with the Whittakers. Hey, we're actually using these to keep the Whittakers alive. When they ask for it, I send it to them.
Didn't I just say that? He could have done that too, right? Why not do that? That would have saved him a headache. That would have, and if it wasn't him that was doing the video, maybe it was Noelle, I don't know, the assistant or something, to help with this. Why not do all that? See, my pals, I don't know if I would necessarily agree with that. I think he's probing a good question, and this is not like just to drag Mark Laita. This is truly just to point that out. If the GoFundMe is about buying them a house and then somehow there were some expenses that came about in the buying the house, that needs to be disclosed to the donors, right? Why not? That's just my thought.
That simple. The goal of getting them this house is not real, nor will it ever materialize. And just been upfront and honest with, hey, this isn't for the house. This is just for them. If you want to donate to them, here it is. Cool. I would have had no problem with that. But that's not what he did. Any donor sending money to that GoFundMe is under the impression it is going towards the larger purchase of a home, not for random living expenses that Mark will send their way in the chunks of $4,000 to $5,000 every two weeks to a month. Which, if you go through the transaction, he's basically sending a couple grand every 2 weeks, every month, quite frequently. He's sending them the money as they ask. There's no money left in the GoFundMe. As the money comes in, the GoFundMe, the money goes out of the GoFundMe. Now, this is a great update. Kudos to Mark for giving them the money. They are, in fact, entitled because the donors gave the Whittakers the money, not Mark. Many people are saying, I basically ruined the relationship between them, when in reality, that's between them. If Mark wants to cut them off for not maybe fully understanding the situation, and he is that frustrated that one person with a platform asked the question of what's going on with the public GoFundMe, with public funds donated to the GoFundMe by strangers who care about these people, if me asking that question has elicited a response in which he cancels GoFundMes forever because it calls into question what? The timeline in which he intends on giving these people the money, his ethics, what's going on? Genuinely, I'm asking a very basic update question of, hey, there's a lot of people that have donated to this GoFundMe. What's going on with the money?
420's like, why is he in the bathroom? Because he needed to be. Okay, lawyer, I would agree with you on that. Mystery Maven says, if he chose to establish a GoFundMe, now, mind you, he's got multiple GoFundMes for a specific purpose, he needs to accept the responsibility for how it's managed and distributed. Can't be mad if donors have questions or if it's a public GoFundMe, so the audience can have questions. Creators out here, because a lot of this is going down on YouTube, we're allowed to ask questions, right? So what's wrong with that? I'm not telling people what to do with their money. Y'all can donate to whoever the hell you want to. It's not my money, it's your money, right? Just like you can't tell me what to talk about. I can talk about whatever the hell I want. This is the topic. This is a problem. But, some of his supporters can't see the obvious, which is fine. I get it.
Pure, simple, cut and dry. Didn't accuse him of being a scammer. Didn't call him any names. I merely asked what was going on here. Mark's frustration is that I didn't email him personally, which I asked him open-endedly on the video, and we now have this update. So it has taken all this time and all of this money for me to ask one question that he has now responded to, and we now all have clarity that the GoFundMe to get them a home was never going to happen. He's been sending them their money the entire time, which is good and expected. And honestly, if he was just a little bit transparent with, hey, here's the update, guys. Here's how your money is being spent. Keep in mind, this isn't his money that he's spending. He is the manager of the funds donated to the GoFundMe for them. If he just sent that update, me and so many other people would not have been so confused and asked the question. I just asked the question of what was going on. His response is obvious frustration and the receipts showing the transfers, which that's good. Thank God he's actually sent them the money. I think that's great. I think this easily could have been avoided if he just provided an adequate update here and there. But the people are sending him their money with the expectation that it went towards a house. They were in the dark. No one knew how this was being allocated until I asked this question. No one knew what was happening with the money. No one knew what was going on. I think it is our job to ask these questions, even if they're a bit uncomfortable. I think he's frustrated. We didn't ask him directly. But what he's doing with these people, generating videos with tens of millions of views, generating tens of thousands of dollars for them, obligates a certain level of responsibility where he updates people occasionally on how their money is being spent.
Thank you. And you do have to, it does kind of make you wonder though. So somebody asking a question has completely made him not take down GoFundMe's. He's no longer going to do GoFundMe. Like, it's a question. Terry says bathrooms have good acoustics. I know, right? I'm like, where are the violins at? Where's the flute playing at? It's playing in the ear to the tub. Shout out to Lucinda and GoFundMe. If you change the initial purpose you have to notify the donors and give them an opportunity to get a refund if that's what they want. Thank you. You have to be absolutely. Thank you, Lucinda, for saying that. What's wrong with that? I'm sure that all the wonderful people that donated, would continue to donate. But I just think there needs to be some more transparency. Lucinda, that's a beautiful comment. Thank you for saying that. Absolutely. No worries, love. Let me see what else everybody has to say. Hey, Aussie. The law required no more than a determination for whether the party understood the nature and extent of transaction. I know you're dropping law down there. So those are the terms of the GoFundMe. Those are the terms of the GoFundMe. Okay, gotcha. And that's okay. Well, let me see who else is in the comments. Ken says, I'm not a Mark supporter, but I do see a huge issue. Tyler wanted there to be one. Gotcha. So you feel like, shout out to Ken. Ken's like, listen, I just feel like this is Tyler trying to attack another creator, which is his opinion. That is fine. Because let me tell you something, Ken. People feel like I'm trying to attack Mark by questioning, just like before when I was questioning this piece. Yeah, people felt like I was in the attack. Well, this is a minor. This is a child. Yeah, I'm going to be in the attack on this. I do have personally, I feel like when he did this, it completely made me see Mark Laita in a whole different way. Outside of everything else that he has done, this was beyond anything to me. But he has a lot of supporters that are going to continue to support and excuse that for him. That's just my thought.
Shout out to Mark for actually giving them the money, but a simple update of we're not going to get a house. We are allocating the money bi-weekly whenever they ask for it, and they're spending it however they desire. That's all we would have needed. Mm-hmm. And the people can then make the decision to, hey, I'm going to donate to the Whittakers vaguely, and however they spend it, or I'm not going to donate to them because they might spend it on something that's not a house, and I don't agree with that. We have to give the viewers and the donors transparency to allow them to make the decision of how their money is being spent. With that being said, I currently have a GoFundMe in the link in the description of the West Virginia video. I've donated $10,000 of my money personally. There's also a couple $1,000s in there currently raised for the Whittakers. The initial goal of combining whatever I raised with Mark's GoFundMe is now no longer obviously possible because he's given them all the money. I would imagine it's all spent. If we raise enough money to get them a house, we'll get them a house. If we don't, we'll figure out the second best means of increasing their quality of life, whatever that may look like. I'm not sure how much money we'll raise, but the GoFundMe still stays up till the end of the month. By the end of the month, you guys will have an update on what we plan to do with the money, and you will get a video update with the Whittakers on how we use that money.
Which is what you're supposed to do. Shout out. Look, I'll give Tyler that, whether people like him or not, but that's what you're supposed to do. You don't just have 5 or 6 GoFundMes floating around and just tell people, well, this is for this and that. You're supposed to tell people what you're doing with this money, right? That's transparency. There's nothing wrong with that.
If you want to refund the donation, do it. Mark, I would implore you to have another conversation with Betty and mend this broken bridge. My involvement has nothing to do with it. Your reaction to this is of your own accord. I never intended this to be a personal attack towards Mark. I think it was a very reasonable question that I and many other people had of what's going on with this money, what's the update. His response to all this is interesting. If one person with a voice elicited this reaction, I'm not sure what to make of that. But to Mark's credit, the money was sent. Whatever amount of money we raise by the end of this month will be sent to the Whittakers with receipts and videos. Thanks for watching.
There you go. All right. So
we are getting ready to tell
hold up.
my parents.
Let's stop right here. Did I not show both sides? Did I not show like where the concern is at? I told you guys we were going to play both videos, right? And Emily's like, no one is thinking of protecting their lifelong disability, SSI and Medicaid. I just don't know how they could still qualify with this donor money. You watch the other video from both creators. I don't understand why Mark got so ugly, because people don't like to be questioned. Personally, I get it, guy. Transparency. I just see this as a no good deed goes unpunished. Tyler can do it now. Maybe he will get them a house. Maybe Tyler will be the one. Tyler's GoFundMe's got 16,000 at this point. Wow. They could be ruined financially for life. All these people aren't going to always support them. Interesting. Hold up. Let me see what you guys are saying. Somebody asked a very good question. I personally do feel like maybe they need somebody to help. Like, lawyer Mr. Maven says, if he wanted to keep helping, perhaps he could establish a trust with the trustee instead. That would eliminate a lot of this, and the trustee, the comment move, would have fiduciary, I can't even say that word, duty. Charity says, those were very large amounts he was transferring. What do they need so much money for? What would have been better to buy than a house? That's a lot of money to be transferred. I mean, did you guys see how much we saw in one day? You sounds like it's a misunderstanding between all the people. One conversation with all parties would have been solved. Could be. Could be. No worries. Thank you so much for saying that. And you don't have to agree with both of us, right? This is not an echo chamber. I had to address the comments that were very much like, shut up, rabbit, or like I was getting a lot of the trollish comments where I was like, well, I'm allowed to ask questions. Why can't I ask questions? What's wrong with that? Let me see what you guys are saying. It would be a special needs trust or an able account for good as good possibilities. Okay. No, Ken, we're not shunning you. You are welcome here with your difference. They don't need a Lima. You want to know what the Whittakers are spending their money on? Well, do the donors, I'm just wondering. But then again, he's not displaying what the money's going for. I really hope SSI does come in for them now. Doesn't come after them for them now, excuse me. They could actually get kicked off of their SSI and they have no money monthly. Assuming that that's what they have, right? That they have SSI and whatnot. But I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I am side-eyeing this piece right here, because when he said, let me put it up on over the screen, okay? Hold up, y'all. This is the piece that I don't. Yeah, I don't know. Sunshine, this is a great question. I don't know what their disabilities are. Is somebody like really explaining to them what the money and everything? Questions are important to ask. That's a lot of money in 1 month. A lot of money in the month of October, that's for sure. The Whittakers, family and friends, are profiting off of Soft White Underbelly, and Mark doesn't care. Well, you said they're mentally incompetent. I don't think that they're eligible for disability. Lifelong SSI more likely. I don't know. It is a mess, right, Aussie? But these are questions that the people have, right? And it's public. You guys, anytime you're raising GoFundMe on public platforms, people are going to ask questions. People are going to look into this. That's what we have to do. There's nothing wrong with that. Right, Nikki, I saw that quote. But this is the part that I just can't, like, let me zoom in a little bit more. Okay, this is that letter, okay? Hey, Hey, Mark, my name is, this is when Tyler reached out to Mark, okay, and he's asking, to get a hold of him. It's a response. Soft White Underbelly has an exclusive contract with the Whittaker family for all content creation. When I think of an exclusive contract, I think of attorneys, I think of lawyers, I think of signatures, notaries, I think of signatures, right? Like permissions and stuff like that. So, are they the only ones with an exclusive contract from software or not well, yeah, an exclusive contract. What about the other people? I don't know. This part right here didn't sit very well with me, but that's just me. Yes, that's true. They could have. I don't have issue with digging also hurting the Whitakers because like who's trying to protect them? You said, I think that this Tyler guy thinks the solution to possible misuse of GoFundMe money is to start a GoFundMe. I don't know if that's a solution. I mean, it's nice. It's a nice thought, but I don't know if that's a solution. Like I said, I don't expect somebody like Tyler, shoot. I mean, Soft White Underbelly has never addressed a lot of us that have had questions about some of the stuff that he does. He'll go to like Adam 22 or some bigger platform, much bigger platform than us to talk about that. But I do kind of wonder, like, does Tyler personally feel like he's doing something with this? That's all. It's not your business if the family is on government assistance. Yeah, I know it's not my business, Vicky. Thank you so much for your comment. It was a question. Thank you. You said disability is not affected by first-time donation, even a house, work income, that's what counts. Food stamps assistance is figured after 60 days. Increase income, SSI will not be affected. Gotcha. Thank you, Jamie, for that. You said Tyler thinks the solution is for them to be in a house. Is that really the solution? I don't know. I don't know. And I'm just reading some of the comments just to react to some of your guys' stuff. Let's see what are you guys saying? Hold up. Hey Drew, if someone was going to be for if was going to be for a house, it could have gone into an escrow account. ML would be sus if he just held it. They would spend it as they go along, but an escrow in their name would have worked. That's interesting. Could they manage a escrow account? Hey Claire. Let me see what y'all are saying. Hold up. These comments speculating about unsavory activities of the families are not it. No, I agree. Everybody's got different opinions. I think Mark is angry on Betty, not especially Tyler. I don't know. I mean, it's a lot. I'm just curious if they were to get a house at the end of the day, when they still have to pay property taxes and all that stuff. Yeah, is somebody going to help with that too? They would still be limited on the value of a home and get assistance also. I think they could probably get assistance. That's for sure. I mean, again, these are just questions. I want to thank everybody for not putting a gun to my head by asking some of these questions because I mean, some of the people had questions. I mean, these people, when I did this video, the people were mad that I did this video, but I just have questions. People are wondering, aren't they paying property taxes though? I don't know. It's a good question. You said he's got a God complex. Well, he did say that he's done a lot and they wouldn't be here, without his help. He's done a lot to improve their lifestyle, which I maybe, but it's just like between a God complex and a Mother Teresa, I can't really put my finger on it. I don't know. You don't think they're thinking it is a good point. I don't think Tyler or Mark are thinking about the bigger picture. I don't think so either, but that's just my thought. Ooh, okay. So do I. No worries, Vicky. Thank you. You're fine. It's good to have questions of someone who has proven a track record of being sketch AF. Okay, Ava says there are specific parameters to keep the SSI rolling in and having secondary income flow. Typically, a trust is used and designated for specific things. Thank you. Has a contract been signed? What is the criteria for informed consent in Virginia? There are many moving pieces here. Very messy for sure. So guess what? We're still going to be asking questions because we can. Because I can ask questions. I sure as hell can. I want to thank everybody here in the chat. I'm kind of wondering what next steps Mr. Tyler's going to take at this point now that he has a whole thing. Sounds like he's going to be more informative about his funding. Now, Mark Laita says he's done with the GoFundMe's. Does that mean all the other ones that he has all together? Because he's got other ones all together, right? Like there's a lot of them. And if he's closing out the other ones, what is he going to do with that money? It's a question. It's a lot of movement of money to make very quickly. I mean, in one day he was getting, and it's their money, but I do have a lot of questions. Hey, B. Tim. All right, y'all. I'm going to let you guys go. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I mean, listen, if y'all want to keep dragging in the comments, all the supporters, that is absolutely fine. Shout out to you. I will see you guys on the next one. Rabbits out, guys. Bye, guys.